Well, hey guys, it is springtime in Montana. And what that means, it's time to get busy on building out our camper. Walter's been patiently waiting all winter, and it's been a little rough because we don't really have any indoor space that we can do the work on. So I'm setting up out here, and it's springtime, mid-April, April 20th, and today really marks the beginning of the build project. Most of this winter has been focused on design work, materials, research, ordering. So we've got a lot of things coming. One of the first things we're going to do is get out the cab. We want to take out the seats and all the trim and all the liner material. And the reason being is, these trucks weren't originally meant to be overland camping rigs. We have to do some augmentation here to make it a little bit more comfortable. These medium duty trucks don't have a whole lot of insulation value in them. The first one we're going to be working with is this product called Lizard Skin. It's designed as a ceramic insulation, so it's a paintable material that's going to go on the actual raw metal. Its intention is to be a little bit more reflective of heat. So I'll primarily focus on the top, where we might have a lot of heat transfer, and also the floor, where the engine heat will potentially warm up the floor. And when you have metal that has a little bit of a hollow sound, you'll see later how this will actually kind of deaden that vibration noise. So Lizard Skin is going to be our first application. So after we apply the Lizard Skin directly to the metal in the cab, we're going to take the next step and apply Killmat all throughout the interior of the truck cab. Now, Killmat is a very commonly used sound deadening and insulating material. This is made from a butyl rubber. It is about, I'm thinking about 50 mils thick. It has an adhesive back to it and a reflective foil surface. Killmat is estimated to be about $1.50 a square foot. So for what it does, it's going to be fairly cost effective. It'll definitely lower some of the cab noise, the vibration of the truck, especially with our bigger tires. We'll have a little bit increased road noise and engine noise. We'll hopefully experience a much quieter ride, and apparently it does have a little bit of insulation value as well. Now, on top of the Killmat, after the Killmat goes in, we are going to be applying this Noiko Red, basically just a foam insulation rubber. It's about 80 mils thick, so it looks about like 3/16 thick. It has also a sticky back top, so this will top directly on top of the Killmat. Hopefully that will improve a lot. Another project we'll be tackling is installing a full set of upgraded leaf springs for the suspension on this truck. Now, these trucks are notoriously known for their rough ride, and through a lot of research I was able to find a source up in Canada from now a friend, Tony, from Fuso Off-Road, who supplied me this set of upgraded Mitsubishi Fuso 4x4 off-roading suspension springs. I'm super excited about getting this suspension installed. The kit came with all the bushings and all the knuckles and all the parts, even a new set of shock absorbers that are rated for 4x4 off-roading for this size of vehicle. So one of the challenges I've had is I don't know exactly how this suspension package will actually change the elevation from the ground up to the base of the chassis. With this increased spring size, it definitely is going to raise it up, plus it comes with a little bit of a lift as well. So I'm going to increase the ground clearance, and that was just an unknown. And so part of my design process has been kind of a mystery as to what the ultimate height of this box is going to be. So I'm kind of anxious to get this done as soon as possible so I can confirm whether my design is going to meet some height limits that I'm putting on our rig. So I might have to make some small design changes if this raises it up too much. So with the upgraded leaf springs and the improved 4x4 shock absorbers and all the other upgrades we're going to be adding to this, this should absolutely improve our ride quality. So after we work on the interior insulation package and then also finish the suspension upgrades, we're going to focus our attention on installing this Bullbar. This is going to make Walter go into beast mode. It's going to look awesome. This Bullbar is manufactured by a company in Australia called East Coast Bullbars. It is very strong, very stout, and it's designed specifically for this Fuso chassis. So we'll be removing the original stock bumper and adding this massive Bullbar. It does fold down so that when you do the tilt of the cab, it won't interfere with the Bullbar. And it has the space for a winch and a couple of snatch hooks here, and obviously also for lights, both for signal lights and additional mounting plates for some LED off-road lights. So we had to wait a while to get this stuff, but it's here and it's now time to get some things installed. This gantry crane will be invaluable for me to keep me safe as we install heavy things on this truck, especially when it gets to focusing on the larger camper box, when it's just clearly too big for me to handle as one person. So I haven't even opened this. This gantry crane came a number of weeks ago, and one of the projects will be to unbox this and to set this up so that it'll be a safe addition to the construction, the build on this project. I wish I had an inside space. Our barn is full of our storage and doesn't have power, and is just too low of a door, so it just wouldn't work without a major investment. My shop is designed for woodworking. I do have some welding equipment in there now, but it also is not a big enough space to bring a vehicle in. And our garage, even though it's a big space, it's a low door height clearance, so it wasn't designed for this kind of work. So unfortunately, that leaves me outdoors. I'm working out in front of my shop, and we'll set up there for these projects. But this crane will be a huge investment in safety and be effectively a second set of hands for me. So those are the first few projects we're going to start on. Like I said, the first real thing we're going to be working on is the interior of the cab, pulling the seats, pulling the trim. Before I get going on this, I wanted to highlight one final resource here. I picked up this Pro Car Removal Toolkit. It's a set of 5 different tools, little pull bars or pry bars, allowing us to pull the clips and the pins, some of them hidden fasteners on door liners and headliners and things like that. I picked this up on Amazon. It was a super cheap kit, but I think it's the right tool for the right job. So I'm anxious to get these working in here, so I won't break clips and things like that. I'll put a note for the link to this product if you are interested in picking this up for yourself. But I think that's it. It's time to get started. So enough talk. Let's get to work. Oh yeah, this makes me happy. These are not comfortable seats. Woohoo! Well, that actually went pretty well. I'm super excited about the results. We got everything out, the headliner and the the wall liner and the seat belts and the seats themselves and the flooring and the console. Everything came out nice and easy. Got a lot of parts I'm gonna have to put back in here sooner or later, but for now, the next step will be to clean this up and to do a little sanding so that the lizard skin will have something to grip onto as it dries. So making great progress. I did want to mention that little kit that I got was really, really nice. These little pry bars for pulling off the plastic clips was just very valuable. The one that I really went for more often than not was this one. It's the one that was the metal bar, and it's definitely had a lot more leverage on it. It got behind, just got right around the clip and pulled it up really nice and easy. So don't try to pull a headliner out without one of these things. It's pretty important. Other than that, everything went really smoothly. And yeah, now it's time to clean this up and get some lizard skin on it. Making progress.